Okay, so Jack is holding the camera for us. So now we're going to be able to get him set up. I'm going to silence the ventilator so nobody out in the hallway thinks anything bad is happening. I'm disconnecting the whisper and putting it onto the clean setup, okay? Then I'm going to come up to the trach. I'm going to squeeze the two triggers together and remove the inner cannula, okay? After that, I'm going to get the new inner cannula. Now I'm only touching the top part, okay? I'm going to hold the flange so I don't accidentally push into his neck. Place the inner cannula in there. Squeeze the two triggers together. See how they squeeze? Slide them in. Feel that it's clicked in place. And then I can get him right back onto the ventilator. And it's as easy as that. But it's harder when you're doing it yourself. Trust me, okay? Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to replace the gauze that was underneath the flange. So this is the split gauze. It's like a pair of pants, remember? So we're going to lay that underneath the trach like that. And then we're going to tuck it up under. Now I hook my finger in a hooky motion, slide it up underneath like that. And then on the other side, I do the same thing. The hooky finger pushes up underneath, and it's simple as that. But trust me, it's harder when you're doing it yourself. All right. So now this strap goes around the top of the Ballard. It's called the tie down, right? So it ties it down and keeps it together so it doesn't accidentally pop off while Jack is tossing, turning, and sleeping on his side, okay? All this stuff is garbage, so we'll get this out of the way. But I'd like you to see how the end-tidal CO2 measures his carbon dioxide. So we're going to turn this machine on. Now his exhaled breath is going to go through this tube all the way up into the top of the machine. It's going to measure the carbon dioxide that's coming through. You'll see these little sets of lungs right here that will inflate and deflate based on whether or not Jack is breathing, which we know he's breathing. You're breathing, right, Jack? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay, good. So now his carbon dioxide is being measured on this screen. It's telling me that it's currently at 39 and his breath rate is 28. So we're going to look over here. You know what? I think the numbers are reversed because of the camera angle. But trust me, it's 47 and now it's 19. All right, so but we're correlating with the ventilator. So if you could see a little bit closer maybe. There you go. Okay, so the numbers on the ventilator right here, this is the 14 respiratory rate. And look, there's 14 respiratory rate on the machine. So it's correlating. So I believe that the 47 is true, okay? If this was way off and didn't match with what it said on the respiratory rate on here, I would assume that there was maybe moisture in the line. I would use my suction tube to try to clean out the line. Or I'd say that there was something wrong with the machine and needed to be checked or evaluated for damage. But right now, everything looks good. So I'm going to turn it back off. I'm going to disconnect the suction, the sampling tubing. And I'm going to come up here. I'm going to disconnect it from the Ballard and put the HME back in place. Okay? So those are all the numbers that I needed to get as far as Jack's respiratory vitals. And then that's how you do trach care on my buddy Jack here. So we will do a little bit more of a video later. Say bye, Jack.
Bye. Bye.
And actually, you know what? Before you go, I'm going to show you how to give the breathing treatment through the port, okay? So the breathing treatment I take out of the L-shaped dispenser that you ordinarily see, okay? Like in movies and stuff, they go, psh, psh, right? So we take it out of the elbow dispenser, and then this little piece in here, that little tube, is what's going to attach to this little tube on the Ballard. Okay, so we take that cap off. This little thing goes on that little thing. The Gazinta goes into the Gazanta. Okay. And then if you look inside that chamber, let's see if we could get that. See the administration of the medication? You saw it go there. I know you did. If you didn't, stop and rewind it because I saw it. Okay, so that's how we give the breathing treatments. And it's safer for him because we're not disconnecting the circuit and allowing him to have exposure to anything that could be in the ambient air. He's still on a closed circuit ventilator, so there's less likelihood of infection. And it also prevents him from getting ventilator associated pneumonia, which is always the goal. And if you notice that he is in the upright position, anything above 30 degrees of the bed angle is also to prevent ventilator associated pneumonia. That is always our goal. Respiratory therapists are always coming up with that protocols and different ways to keep people safe. Another big way is with the housekeeping. We keep the bedside clean. We make sure that the rails are always wiped down. We make sure that his tables are washed and that anything that is touching him has been cleaned regularly because we don't want him to be exposed to any bacteria that could harm my buddy Jack. So that was my instructional. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I look forward to meeting some of you hopefully someday.